This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Patrice Beguet from Hughes-Beguet in the Jura. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine.
Now, I had the chance to taste your wines, both in the Jura and when you visited Toronto recently. But for our viewers who are unfamiliar with your wines, please tell us a little bit about what you do in the Jura.
So I'm installed in Arbois and I'm producing half whites, half reds, some very light reds, and most of indigenous grape varieties.
Now, which grape varietals are you using?
For red, I don't have any Pinot Noir, I just have Ploussard and Trousseau. And for whites, mainly Savagnin and a bit of Chardonnay, and a typical local Chardonnay variety called Melon à queue rouge.
Now, what would you say your house style is when it comes to your winemaking?
Oh, I try to make several cuvées, and which could be very different. So, for example, for reds, I try to have a Ploussard, very on the acidities, a very refreshing wine, but I can have another cuvée very tannic, with some more mature grapes. So, and I've got another main cuvée, a Trousseau one. Quite oaky, so I try to separate my cuvées to have something quite different.
Now, how many years have you been making wine for?
I started in 2009 and directly organically, and I'm now biodynamic certified.
And how old are the vines that you're working with right now?
Oh, they're between 20 and 70 years old. I think the average is more 35, 40 years.
Oh. Now, I've always adored the wines of Jura, but I've always also said that I don't think they're for everyone. Why do you think that is?
It's a very small area of production, so we've got about 2,000 hectares, so that's quite, and it's mainly drunk in Franche-Comté, which is our region. So there's a few cuvées, a few wines quite famous like vin jaune and straw wine, but it's a very small part of our production. A small part of a small part. For white wines, we've got two main styles: normal wines on the fruity wines, and oxidized wine. So these parts of wine are quite difficult to taste for beginners. It's a bit like music. If you start listening free jazz, for example, for the first time, it's a bit
challenging.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you start with New Orleans, with swing, with bebop, you can understand. So for vin jaune, maybe 1% out of 100 like it for the first time, but for the other one, they should start with a very light oxidized wine, and there's several levels to access to vin jaune, I think. So this part of white are a bit tricky. And for reds, we've got a lot of acidity and not a lot of alcohol. So,
which is something that I find very appealing in a red wine. So that's probably why I adore the red wines of the Jura.
Yes, so I think they're designed to eat with. I think it's due to the acidity. So I think it's more digest when you're eating. So, but you can't have a lot of pleasure just all by itself, without something to pick. And,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. No, I understand. Well, thank you very much for joining us today at Good Food Revolution. Really appreciate your time and really adore your wines. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Bye-bye.